Hello, in this presentation, I will be comparing three widely used instructional design models: ADDIE, Backward Design, and the Successive Approximation Model, or SAM. These models are commonly used across K through 12, higher education, and professional learning environments, but they differ in how instruction is planned, structured, and revised. My goal is not to argue that one model is best, but rather to show how each model supports different instructional contexts, learner needs, and design constraints. Understanding these differences helps designers and educators make more intentional decisions when planning instruction. Instructional design is the intentional and systematic process of planning learning experiences to improve both learning and performance. According to Brown and Green, instructional design is grounded in theory, structured processes, and continuous evaluation. Rather than focusing on only content delivery, instructional design considers how learners engage with material, how learning is assessed, and how instruction can be improved over time. This definition is important because it frames instructional design as more than lesson planning. It is a problem solving process that aligns learning goals, instructional strategies, and assessment. Instructional design models provide a framework for organizing complex instructional decisions. They help designers think systematically about learner needs, learning outcomes, assessment strategies, and instructional activities. Models also serve as a shared language across teams, especially in collaborative or large-scale instructional projects. While no model fits every situation perfectly, understanding multiple models allows designers to adapt their approach rather than rely on a single formula. The ADDIE model is one of the most well-known instructional design models and is often described as linear and systematic. It consists of 5 phases: analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Each phase builds on the previous one, emphasizing careful planning before instruction is delivered. While ADDIE is sometimes criticized for being rigid, it remains valuable in large or formal instructional settings where structure, documentation, and consistency are important. Backward design approaches instructional planning by starting with the end in mind. Instead of beginning with activities or content, designers first identify desired learning outcomes, then determine acceptable evidence of learning, and finally plan instructional experiences. This model is especially effective in curriculum and lesson planning because it ensures alignment between goals, assessment, and instruction. It encourages intentional decision making and reduces the risk of activities that do not directly support learning outcomes. The Successive Approximation Model, or SAM, takes a more agile and iterative approach to instructional design. Rather than following a strict sequence, SAM emphasizes rapid prototyping, continuous feedback, and ongoing revision. Instruction is designed, tested, and refined and improved in short cycles. This model is particularly effective in fast-paced, technology-rich environments where flexibility and responsiveness are critical. Now that I have briefly introduced each instructional design model individually, I want to shift into a direct comparison of ADDIE, Backward Design, and SAM. Rather than comparing everything at once on a single slide, I have broken the comparison into 3 specific dimensions: structure, flexibility, and best use. Looking at the models through these lenses make it easier to see not only how they differ, but why one model might be more appropriate than another depending on the instructional context. This comparison highlights that instructional design models are not one-size-fits-all solutions, but frameworks that support different design needs and constraints. When comparing structure, the three models differ significantly. ADDIE follows a linear structure, moving forward one phase at a time. Backward design is outcomes driven, beginning with learning goals before planning instruction. SAM is iterative, encouraging repeated cycles of design, testing, and refinement. These structural differences influence how instruction is developed and how easily changes can be made during the design process. Flexibility is another key point of comparison. ADDIE offers low flexibility due to its sequential structure, which can make mid-course changes more challenging. Backward design allows for moderate flexibility, as instruction can be adjusted as long as learning outcomes and assessments remain aligned. SAM provides the highest level of flexibility, as continuous iteration and feedback are built into the model itself. Each model is best suited for different instructional contexts. ADDIE works well for large-scale or formal instructional initiatives that require consistency and documentation. Backward design is ideal for curriculum and lesson planning, where alignment between goals and assessments is critical. SAM is particularly effective in agile, technology-based environments where instructions must evolve quickly in response to feedback. Choosing the right instructional design model depends on several factors, including learning context, learner needs, available time and resources, and instructional goals. Rather than viewing these models as competing approaches, they can be seen as tools that support different design challenges. Effective instructional designers understand multiple models and apply them strategically based on the situation rather than relying on a single approach. ADDIE, Backward Design, and SAM each offer distinct strengths and limitations. ADDIE provides structure and consistency, Backward Design ensures alignment and intentionality, and SAM emphasizes flexibility and rapid improvement. Understanding these models allows instructional designers and educators to make informed, context driven decisions that ultimately support meaningful learning experiences.